This program contains true stories of rescues. All of the 911 calls you will hear are real. Whenever possible, the actual people involved have helped us reconstruct the events as they happened. Grand Island, Nebraska is a peaceful Midwestern farming town where fields of wheat and corn fill the landscape. It's a small, tight-knit community where most people tend to know and trust one another. Early on the morning of September 21st, 1989, Randy McDonald was driving along a road near his farm.
I could see up ahead of me that this car was in the ditch. As I got up there, I stopped. You guys need some help or something?
Oh, we rolled her.
This man and woman were standing there, and she looked awful pale and white and nervous. She just asked me if I'd pull them out. If I'd have known something was going on, I would have liked to tried to help her out.
911 emergency center.
Please.
What's the problem?
I'm just about stabbed to death.
The call came into dispatcher Charlene Rathjen at 8:32 a.m.
You're stabbed?
Yes, many times.
Ambulance?
What?
You need an ambulance?
Very bad, so.
All right, is there somebody there?
No, I broke into the house because nobody was here.
Oh, Lord. Well, ma'am, you gotta calm down now a bit here and tell me if you can figure out where you're at.
Okay. Oh, my God.
Okay, just calm down a bit here.
We do not have an enhanced 911 system. If we had had enhanced 911, we would have been able to tell immediately where she was.
Okay.
What's your name first?
Rebecca.
Who stabbed you, Rebecca?
Brad Geiger.
I knew I had to try and keep her calm till we got somebody there, because the more agitated she got, the more she was going to bleed.
Okay, can you look around and see if you can find an envelope?
Oh, here's something. It says Route 3, box 1.
Because the address was a rural route box number, it could still take hours to find the house. So dispatcher Kathy Bruckner called the post office to try to get more specific directions.
You can tell you have a feeling for calls when they come in. You know, I could tell from Charlene's reaction that this was heavy duty.
Where are you stabbed at? Where are you hurt at?
I hurt mostly my hand because I tried to stop him from getting in my throat.
Okay. And are you stabbed anywhere else? Are you bleeding a lot?
I don't know. I'm bleeding a heck of a lot, and I think throat too. I'm about to pass out.
Okay. Just settle down. Are you sitting down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you call somebody for me?
Well, we're going to get somebody out there as soon as we figure out how to get out there.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have asthma?
No.
Okay.
I think he got my throat.
No, you didn't.
Hurry. You gotta hurry. I'm about to pass out.
Okay, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Listen, just calm down, okay? Just calm down.
Oh, hurry, please.
My worst fear was that I wasn't going to be able to figure out where she was, and that I wasn't going to get anybody out there in time to her, because there was a feeling that as the call progressed, I thought she was going to die before they got there.
How long have you been out there, Rebecca?
It happened at 20 till 8.
20 till 8?
Uh-huh.
After he did this, you just got out of the car and ran?
Yeah. I gotta go.
No. Don't hang up the phone.
She just got weaker and weaker and weaker, and her breathing got more difficult. But you can't let them just give up. You can't let them hang up.
When we continue,
We came into the field at a very low level. We were intentionally flying low, hoping that we could see this subject in these corn rows.
I'm afraid he's going to come back.
All right, you stay calm, okay?
I broke in the window, and he'll see the broken window and know where I'm at.
Why did he do this, you know?
I work with him, and he seemed to be a nice guy. I've given him rides to work lots of times because he doesn't have a car that works. And he called me at 7 this morning or so and said, I'm over here by your house, will you come get me and take me to my house? And I did, and then he raped me at his house at knife point.
But she just started laying it out, and I think she was so scared she had to tell somebody. And I think Rebecca just wanted somebody to know in case something happened to her before she got help, that somebody was going to know who did this to her.
Then I was driving too fast. I was driving about 55 on the gravel road, and the gravel was real thick. And I lost control of the car, and it rolled a couple times, and it did. He got out of the car, and then he pulled out his knife after it rolled on the side of the car. This car's on its side. Then I closed the window and locked the doors. Then he punched in the window and tried to stab me, and then the guy came and pulled us out. And
Who was the guy that came that pulled you out?
I don't know. But I'm not familiar with this area of town.
Is law enforcement with the same patient?
No. No.
Okay, we have a little bit of difficulty locating this.
Huh?
Just a minute.
They found him?
No, just a minute. He says it's a large two-story white house. It is two-story, isn't it?
I think so.
See the fence gate?
Is there a fence at the gate?
Yeah, the big fence, the gate, big yard.
For a big fence at the gate, and there's 13 dogs barking. I can hear them.
My hand is starting to hurt a lot now.
Okay, honey, they should be there.
Once she knew there was somebody coming, well, then that's when she settled down, and the longer she talked, the less labored her breathing got.
Wait, I hear somebody.
Okay, all
I
right.
hope it's not Brad.
No. Just settle down.
Here! Somebody's here.
Okay, all right, just calm down.
Oh, it's not Brad. They're here.
Okay, honey. You sure be tell about the rape business, okay? You tell them that, all right, Rebecca?
When you know they're there, it's always a big relief, because then I don't have to be calm anymore. And if I want to feel bad about it, I can.
Paramedic Jim Bedorick and his partner treated Rebecca at the scene.
She was very frightened, and rightfully so. She was pretty much covered with blood from head to toe. Can you breathe all right? Okay, everything. It was apparent from the wounds that she had on her hands that she was fending off blows and fighting to protect herself. She was fighting for her life. Rape is a violent crime. It's not a sexual crime. And, you know, the graphic illustration of it's what really made the impact on me.
The young woman was later questioned by Grand Island Police Detective Rick Ressel.
After the sexual assault, he wanted Rebecca to drive him to a location where he had placed some of his belongings. At least that's what he said. They drove to a location where a driveway went into a cornfield, and she realized that there probably is not any belongings there and that Geiger wants to kill her. Rebecca grabbed the keys out of the car. Geiger caught up with her and grabbed a hold of her, and he started to slash her with a knife. During the struggle, she lost the car keys somewhere. He grabbed her hair, threw her onto the ground, and Rebecca grabbed the blade of the knife and bent the blade of the knife with her bare hand. During the attack, he attempted to straighten the blade, and Rebecca was able to break away from him and started running away.
The only thing I could think about was getting help. I just knew I had to get away from him. I knew I had to run to the farmhouse.
she started yelling for help. However, no one was at home. The doors were locked, so she breaks out a window and manages to get into the house. It's just, I'm really impressed by her strong will and desire to live. Many, many people would have just laid down and died under the same circumstances.
The young victim was rushed to the nearest hospital with 21 stab wounds as State Patrol officers, the National Guard, and sheriff's deputies from 3 counties began a massive manhunt. After 5 hours, a tip from a caller led investigators, including Patrol Sergeant Gary Esser, to a cornfield not far from the house where the victim had been found.
In this particular case, the cover was so heavy that if you would have been 3 foot into this cornfield, you probably couldn't have seen 3 foot. At one point, I could see the prop wash lifting the corn leaves and so forth. They were actually suspended in the air. And under this, I could see this subject lying in one of the rows. I was yelling at people with my portable radio that he was directly under us. The officers on the ground then started moving in.
After 6 hours of searching, the manhunt was finally over. The suspect later pleaded guilty to rape and attempted second-degree murder and was sentenced to 25 years in prison. In the 2 years since the attack, the physical wounds have completely healed. Just last week, Rebecca was engaged to be married.
The hardest part of the recovery was mental. There was a lot I had to work through. But it was just the will to survive and the fact that I was only 20, I hadn't gotten married, I had a whole life in front of me. And it was just a very, very strong will to survive. I just had to. You know, nobody wants to die.
Recently, Rebecca got a chance to meet the 911 dispatchers who helped save her life.
Hi, Charlene. Hi, I'm Rebecca.
Hi, Rebecca.
Rebecca Smith. I wanted to meet you for so long. It was wonderful meeting Charlene and Kathy. I wanted to meet them for a long time. They're just sweet as I ever thought they were.
This is Kathy.
Most of the time, people forget about us entirely. So it was quite a treat to get to meet somebody that we helped. I was glad I was able to. I was glad that she was able to walk down them stairs and come in and talk to us. I really was.
I told myself I wasn't either.
Seeing her today made me go back to that day and just know that it could have been a whole lot worse. It could have turned out just horribly. And just to think, looking at her today, thinking, well, hey, this all turned out okay. You know, she's okay. And that's the most important thing, that she's okay.
She was my lifeline. She wasn't even there for me to hug or anything. She just saved my life.
Next.
When officers respond to domestic calls, generally they're considered the most dangerous calls that we can respond to. You never know what waits behind the door.
On the evening of August 16th, 1991 in Altoona, Pennsylvania, 15-year-old Dwayne Della was babysitting his 2-year-old niece, Melissa.
Me and Melissa were watching TV, and then I walked into the kitchen to get some ice cream. I opened the freezer door. I reached into the back, then, I sort of stuck my tongue out, and it got stuck by accident. I tried, breathing hot air on, trying to melt the ice, but it didn't work. And then I tried using my fingernails to, chip the ice away, but that didn't work either. I told Melissa to get me the phone.
Get the phone, please.
And then I called 911.
The watch commander at the police station, Sergeant John Carnicella, was not a dispatcher, but he happened to be passing by as the call came in.
911 emergency. What's your problem?
They were in serious trouble. I thought as a female was being beat up or be stabbed or even worse. My first inclination was get the call traced to get help to the person.
What's your address?
I told the corporal that we had a domestic situation, that he should start to roll on the call, and I would give him the address once I got it.
Ma'am, give me your address. I'll send you. What's your address? What's the house? 20.
It wasn't painful, it was just frustrating because I kept trying to tell him the address, then he couldn't hear what I was saying, and he didn't know what was wrong with me.
I can understand the help part. Okay, what's your first name?
Gawain.
Again and softer.
Gawain.
Diane.
Gawain. Gawain.
Let's try your address again. I'm not having any luck with your name.
At that point in time, the 911 trace was completed, and I asked the person if that was the address that they were at.
The address was passed to Corporal Jeffrey Auker.
When officers respond to domestic calls, generally they're considered the most dangerous calls that we can respond to. You never know what waits behind the door when you answer a domestic call.
Okay, we have the police on the way. Do you need an ambulance?
Now we knew where the person was. We needed to know what their problem was. We're going possibly into a hostile environment. We could be going into a situation where there could be weapon play.
What's the problem?
My toe is stuck to the freezer.
Your toe is stuck to the freezer.
Tongue.
Your tongue is stuck in the freezer. Well, how old are you?
15.
You're 15. And what's your problem now exactly? Now you can talk.
I can't talk.
I know you can't talk.
My tongue is stuck to the freezer.
Your tongue is stuck to the freezer.
Well, it was a sort of a revelation to me. I thought, boy, this was a crazy call.
On to the police!
Scott Cayley was the first officer on the scene.
On to the police!
I didn't get any response, so I walked down off the stoop and I went around to a first story window and looked inside. I really didn't know what to think at that point. The little girl came over at that point because she heard me jiggling the doorknob, and she tried to unlock the door.
That's it, unlock it, honey. Try and unlock it. Come on now.
Officer Gerald McCauley was the next to arrive.
Come on, you got it.
Corporal Auker soon joined the other officers trying to get in.
We decided to enter from the rear, but these are adjoining row houses and there's no entry to the backyard. So myself and Officer McCauley went next door and ran through the house.
Curtains up, we can see inside.
We came around the corner and there's a kid with his face frozen to the freezer, like a moon pie. And there was a massive frozen blood and his tongue was stuck to that. It's not something that you're taught at the academy or that's in the first aid manuals. So we did what we thought was right and began getting glasses of warm water from the tap and pouring them over the boy's tongue and mouth.
At which point the young man said, with his tongue stuck there, "That's hot water."
Okay, put that on there. Bite down on that.
It was like a circus. We went from where we thought we were going to be going into a violent domestic call. We went in there and broke the doors down and did damage to the house to get in. And the only way we can figure to help them out is to throw water on them. And we practically drown them trying to rescue them.
We'll take care of this now.
When paramedic Jim Effinger and his partner arrived, they determined the extent of Twain's injury.
It's your mouth. Now, once you relax, we took the towel from him and inspected the tongue. And basically what we saw was just a small reddened area with a small cut on the tongue, about 1/4 of an inch. I just want to take your pulse. Dwayne was a lucky kid. He could have lost his tongue from severe frostbite. He wouldn't be able to talk, would not be able to swallow. He couldn't chew his food properly, so that would have been a real tragedy.
The toughest part was waiting for the police to come because I didn't ever think I was going to get my tongue off the freezer. I could move around a little bit, but I couldn't, like, move real far because, like, tongue's not that long.
The city of Altoona made 2-year-old Melissa Garman an honorary police officer in recognition of the crucial assistance she gave her uncle that night.
I think Melissa's a real hero. If she hadn't picked up that phone and handed it to him, he couldn't have made that phone call. We couldn't have traced it. And, you know, the neighbors didn't know what was going on because he wasn't yelling loud enough because his tongue was frozen.
It was freaking nice.
When I'm older, I'll probably think about this and laugh because it doesn't happen to that many people. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's never to stick your tongue out when you're reaching into the freezer.
If your community does not have 911, learn the emergency numbers in your area and post them by each phone. This series is dedicated to all the men, women, and children who are there to help us when we need them most. I'm William Shatner. Join us again next week for more true stories on Rescue 911.
Step out of the car, please.